Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. So I've had this conversation three times in the last two or probably 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Is about adults feeling peer pressure to drink. I stopped drinking totally probably 7 years ago. So I do remember when I first stopped drinking that it was off-putting to some of my friends, and they felt sort of uncomfortable, and they were like, why aren't you having a drink? And you're not, are you going to be fun? And so, I said,
You're not any.
I was like, come on, I'm always fun. I'll be more fun.
You're like me. How can I not be fun?
So once it just kind of got cemented into my life that this is,
Yeah, this is who you are.
this is what I do. And guess what? You can still go out to dinner with me and still have a laugh, and
Right.
everything is fine. And not only that, but I'm not passing any judgment on anyone else
Yeah.
who wants to drink, wants to get drunk, or whatever, whatever anyone wants to do is fine. I didn't have
Yeah.
any, it's just for me, it didn't work mostly because it made me feel really sick.
When you get a handle on your own situation with it in whatever way you get a handle on it, either stopping or, being, I don't know. Everyone's got their own story. But you then do not judge, because there's a lot of like comparison, as in like, well, I probably shouldn't drink as much as I should, but I have a friend.
Right.
We've all heard it. I think it's easier for you because you're like, I dealt with it in a way that's healthy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so you truly are like, not an issue.
People were asking if it was really hard to go out. That's what they were saying. Isn't it hard to go to a party and not drink? And it wasn't hard for me to do that. But I think they were asking in the sense like, isn't it easier to socialize after you've had a couple drinks?
A lot of us started really young, and so we don't know necessarily what it's like to not drink. And that's also with sex. Like you hear that all the time with alcoholics who like will write that funny book, decades later, and they're like, I never had sex sober.
Oh, right.
Cuckoo, but like you get it. Like you're like, yeah, I could see, And then there's the whole thing of, this is an alcoholic thing, which is not your issue, but like throwing your energy into something else, which I think, because I do have that alcoholic gene for sure. And I think that would be sort of I would have to. I'd have to like, become like a skydiver or something.
Oh, right. To take that energy.
Yeah. Like, I know people who have done, they just have gotten really like passionate about, basket weaving.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Not specifically basket weaving, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I know.
It's the energy it takes to like think about when you're drinking, and especially if you have that alcoholic thing, which again I do. You're like, well, I shouldn't have that much, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna, stop drinking at 10, or like you play little games with yourself. Like I'm gonna have a glass of water between each glass of wine, and it's like it's a huge amount of mental energy that if you just like wiped it off.
Right. I never had to think about, oh, am I going to be able to drive home tonight? Or not, or because even if you have two drinks and you get pulled over, you would be in trouble. Now I'm off caffeine, which is a whole other thing.
What are you, crazy, Elsa?
I know. I'm really, really going nuts over here. I had to have that coffee in the morning, and nothing could happen until I had it. And lots of times I didn't want one from home, so I had to make this special trip to get it.
Which is the same kind of energy we're talking about with alcohol.
Exactly. It's actually way more fun, I think, to go.
You remember stuff.
Well, yeah, there's, and then the other thing is what happens sort of around 11 o'clock at night, people start repeating themselves.
Yes.
And they tell you these incredibly boring stories that they think are hilarious, blah, blah. And you just politely say, oh, good night. And you turn in and get like a fabulous night's sleep and wake up the next day and everything's great. Invariably you run into someone and they're all sort of bummed out because they feel like crap and oh my God and blah, blah, blah. And if adults feel this pressure, what pressure must our teens feel?
Right. And I think, I know my friends that didn't drink in high school weren't my friends then.
Because they were doing something different,
They were
right?
doing something different, and they were not part of the stories the next day. And oh my God, I fell down, and oh my God, and ha ha ha. And
Well,
they were like, you guys are fucking idiots.
for the ones that don't like that you don't have a drink, you may not see them as much.
Right.
So but then you sort of open yourself up to a whole other world of people.
Yes.
So do you want to go get a drink?
Always good to talk to you, Elsa.
All right, I'll talk to you next week.
Okay. Bye.